Hi everybody, it's Sunday night with ILXCTF.com. I'm your host Mike Newman. How is everybody doing? Had fun this weekend? I did. Looked at a ton of results last night. Put in a bunch of results. I'm getting scared because meet directors for the regionals are supposed to put the results in. Yet I ended up putting 10 or 11 meets in last night. And I'm going to have to go back and fix two, or I fixed two already. And the third one, you don't put a dot next to the number when you're uploading it. It won't upload. I don't know how to do that. Whatever. So a number of things. We'll talk a lot about conference meets and everything else that happened this weekend. There's a lot of things going on. So a number of things. Have a lot of kids, because I put my ladder by the finish line, a lot of kids that are going through the chute that stop by my ladder and throw up. I think I should just put a fire hydrant thing there. It's happened a number of times. When I was at West Suburban Silver, there was a guy that came up to me and said, "Are you Bill Stone?" And Bill's a great writer for in the West Suburban area, and Bill does a great job. But Bill is like way shorter than me. So if I do this, am I Bill Stone now? Okay, now put that over there in the hat collection. There we go. So I don't know how long this is going to go. This may just go War and Peace of shows here. So I'm gonna talk about I have no notes here, so I'm just going off the top of my head on a number of things. I may bounce all over the place, which might be fun. So we're going to talk about the three meets that I was at first, which was the Southwest Prairie and the Duquesne on Saturday morning, and also the West Suburban in the afternoon, which was really windy, but really I ran in the conference. I know why it's the toughest conference in the nation, and if you were there, you did, but I can't. It's been a long day, long weekend. You'd understand why. So let's start with the Southwest Prairie Conference meet on Friday. Some pre-meeting meeting with the coaches, huh? Oh, good Lord. I may write more about that tomorrow on Monday Morning Finish Line. On the girls' side, I misspoke to Roland Hopkins right after the race because I thought that the gap between 4 and 5 for Manuka was wider than I thought. And Roland's like, no, it's been that way all year. And then I looked at my numbers last night. I'm like, yeah, he's right. Roland's always right. So Manuka's girls looked really good. Nice pack, about a 62-second split. But their first 4 runners up there are the ones that are really going to steal the show when we get down to the state meet. So Manuka winning it. Oswego East ran great again, edging Yorkville by 1 point. I think that's right. Yeah, that's right. So Audra Soderlind, I'm sorry, from I'm not using notes, so hey, from Oswego, she was nice pack. If you go watch the video, you can see there she's with the pack, and then she slowly moves away in the final mile to win. So she looks good. Hey, she's gonna have to have her A game on when she goes into the regionals at Oswego East, and then goes to Hinsdale Central for that fun sectional. On the boys' side, Oswego. Their strategy hasn't really changed, but they still run a 26-second split. So, I mean, 26-second split, they had 2 guys within about 10 seconds of each other, and then they had a gap, and then their next 3 runners come in. So, they're going to have to move up a little bit, I think, in racing. But we'll see. They get tested at Oswego East, then they go to Hinsdale Central. But they look good. They really look good. So a 28-second split for Oswego, winning easily. Manuka second. Manuka ran their best race of the year. I've seen them a number of times, and they look pretty good. And then Plainfield South third. A little bit of surprise there, but you know what? It's conference meet. You can't be up 4 straight weeks from conference to regional to sectional to state. You're going to have one clunker here and there emotionally. And so we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Duquesne. They ran the varsity races first because they were concerned that the course would get a little torn up. It was wet, it was moist, it was wet, it was soft, the grass was long. I mean, but there were still some good performances there. Michael Wilson from St. Charles East, he missed about a week and a half of training because of COVID-19. His brother Jedediah wasn't running. I didn't see him there. So hopefully he's getting better. But St. Charles East wins by 1 point over a good Wheaton North team, 46-47. I was kind of surprised there at the end. The one St. Charles East guy passed a Wheaton North guy, and that was it. That decided the meet right there. 5 in the first 16 against 5 in the first 17. But St. Charles East and Wheaton North compare nicely with their first 3 and then their final 2. If they would have had the little Wilson in there, they would have run a little bit better. The score would have been a little bit lower, so to speak. On the girls' side, Katrina Schlenker of Batavia wins her 3rd conference title, and she's a cool person to talk to after a race. Well, whenever I talk to anybody after the race, you're all cool, okay? But like talking to Katrina, she's very upfront with her comments about the race and all of that. She's a smart runner. And she used the same strategy that she used last year at Duquesne, where she made her move at 2 miles and dropped Acosta. But Grace Shager, this is the 2nd time I've gotten to see Grace run. And afterwards, she was a little bit upset and a little bit of an injury that she got when she ran at St. James a few weeks ago. So she was doing good after the race. I talked to her privately, and great person to talk to. So team-wise, Batavia, they're coming on strong. There were 4 teams that were close together. That were supposed to be close together. Threw that out. Batavia, St. Charles East, St. Charles North, and Wheaton Warrenville South. Batavia scored, I think, 50 points. East was 58. St. Charles North was 59, and then Wheaton Warrenville South was back with 89 points. Remember, can't run good all 4 straight weeks. It's medically impossible. I mean, it's mentally impossible unless you come into the race with a strong mind all 4 races. And I'm just going off my old coach here. West Suburban Silver. Wow. On the girls race went off first, and Josephine Wellen looked great. Ran 17:34 for the 5K course, under 17-minute time for 3 miles, and it was windy. So she just said, well, I can't say that. I'm going to go out and run hard. I don't care what the wind is. She didn't say that. That's me. So she wins by 7 seconds over Audrey Allman. Allman is somebody I would keep an eye on over the next few weeks. She'll be the favorite next week at Proviso West, and she'll be one of the favorites. She'll go up against Shaker at Lake Park in 2 weeks. So that'll be a good race. But Audrey Allman looked really good, really strong. She let Wellen get away early and could never catch her. She was 10 seconds back around 2 miles. She closed the gap to 7 seconds. She was closing the gap at the end and just ran out of time, ran out of space. York girls, they're good. They're good. 5 in the top 9, 6 in the first 11. And one of the parents from York was asking me, so is there going to be anybody that's going to be ahead of us in the top 5? And I said, yeah, Wellen, Allman, Sommerfeld of Lions, and McCabe. And what happened? Well, Bria Bennis, no, wait a minute, so you had Wellen, Allman, Sommerfeld, and McCabe no, wait a minute. McCabe passed Bria Bennis for fourth. And then Sommerfeld came fifth, and then came the York Pack. 41-second split. They're not going to run 16-second splits every week like they did at Palatine, but 41-second splits with the runners up there. Bennis, the number one runner this week. Catherine Klimak was the number one runner the last two meets before that. So they're deep. They're good. I mean, they could get 5-6 all-state runners right now. On the boys' side, what a great race. That was Roy Llewellyn. Now, he did that at West Suburban Silverton Track, where he took the lead at 2 miles, and everybody was thinking, oh, he'll come back. Llewellyn ran like 9:22, 9:23 in that race. And here again, he's like, the wind, I'm going to take it out. And he took it out, and he opened up a 6-second lead on Watke and Colby Revord. Get to Colby in a second. And then McLaughlin of Lyons Township. So coming down the stretch around the curve, you can see Llewellyn, his arms were up a little bit, his carriage was up a little bit. And here comes a Watke. I'm like, oh, this race is over. And Watke got the race, says, yeah, I've got 48-second speed. I've run a 150 half mile. It's fun to use it in cross country once in a while. What a great quote! And Watke runs 15:33 for the win. Llewellyn, a great time of 15:36 to get second. And then Colby Revord, who started the year back in the pack, was 4th, 5th runner, and boy, has he come on strong. He was 3rd overall in the race. I can't wait to see what he does down the stretch here. Hinsdale Central wins it. Lyons Township gets 2nd. Downers Grove North 3rd. All 3 teams ran pretty good, great, and I can't wait to see what they do in the next 2 weeks. York 4th. That's all I have to say on that. Yeah, that's all I have to say on that. They have, here again. Meet, and then meet. You're gonna run great one race, good. You're gonna run super one race, great another race, okay in one race, and the other one's gonna be I think maybe that was York. I remember in 1977, my sophomore year at York. Oh God, here's another York story. Newman's telling another York story. Where Glenbard West kicked our butts 3 times. They kicked our butts at county, they kicked our butts at dual meet, and they kicked our butts at conference. And so we weren't in the same sectional as Glenbard West, thank goodness. So after that conference meet, they regrouped. The team regrouped. They ran a good regional race. They ran a better sectional race. And at state, when everybody was saying, oh, they may be a top 5 team, they got 2nd. So, and especially this year when everything is so wild, everything is so close in Class 3A, anything can happen. So we'll just have to wait to see. We have 3 more meets to check them out. Okay, so DuPage Valley. That's now I'm going off the top of my head. I'm going to miss something. I'm sorry. I'm apologizing in advance. DuPage Valley. Interesting to see the note from Kevin Rafferty afterwards, where he said that Paul Vandersteen told him afterwards, yeah, we wanted to push the pace and take the kick out of Waubonsie Valley. Waubonsie Valley is an excellent finishing team. They still didn't have one of their runners, Aiden Oster. Yet they came from behind to win 38-43 over Neuqua Valley. 2 great packing teams. Neuqua Valley, there was one runner, and I'm going to screw his name up, Chris Miserandino, something like that. He improved his PR on that course by 48 seconds. That's pretty good. It's not, never mind. They had a 38, Neuqua had a 36-second split, 5 in the first 13. But Waubonsie Valley put 2 runners in front of Neuqua, and Neuqua followed behind. So great race. Both teams have good. They got to get out of Hinsdale. No sleep for Hinsdale. So those 2 teams, good teams. We'll see what they do next week at Oswego East. Wow. Girls side, Naperville North, 29 points. Naperville Central, 48. Naperville North, another tight pack. Westlake and Goblish were in the top 5. And Naperville Central had 3 runners out there in the top 10. And then their 4th and 5th runners were 18th and 20th, something like that. So there you go to Oswego too. Let's get out of the Hinsdale sectional of meat grinders or whatever. Prospect girls. And I've been writing about them. I dropped them in the rankings because Cameron Galloway didn't race for the past 2 weeks. Yet there she is. She's the 5th runner for the team. Prospect blew away the field at Bussey, winning with 31-32 points, something like that. Prospect looked better. Where's the rankings? The only rankings to count are at the end of the year. We'll have a final one this week. On the boys' side, Palatine wins their first conference championship since 2012. For Hinsdale Central, that was their second conference championship in 65 years. But it was in the West Suburban Silver, and you had York, who was a runaway freight train, and so on and so forth. But Palatine, nice pack. Joe Caseko from Palatine was the number 2 runner in the race behind Sean Safford of Hersey. 50 points for Palatine. Joe Parks, the head coach for Palatine, get well soon, Joe. Came down with COVID. He wasn't at the meet. I hope you get a lot of rest. Hope to see you at state. The Palatine boys looked good. Barrington and Hersey 2nd and 3rd, both with 64 points, and then Prospect with 72 points. What else? Let's stay north. North Suburban Conference. Luke Wiley runs 14:58 to win at Antioch. At Zion, actually. I don't even know what that course is like. And they go 1-2. Their 3rd runner wasn't. I looked after the race, after looking at the results. Their 3rd runner, who's up with Lara and with Wiley, wasn't in the race. So, and Lake Zurich wins 29-41, something like that. So interesting there. On the girls' side, Brooke Johnson, geez, 17-19, give me a break. Can't you run faster, Brooke? Come on. Now, 17-19, winning by 31 seconds over Mia Pasha of Warren Township. That's pretty good. That's really good. So great races by them. Can't wait to see what Brooke does in the state series. Can't wait to see what everybody does in the state series. I'm so excited. 2A, at Mid-Illini, ho-hum. Wilson Georges, congratulations, Wilson. He verbally committed to the University of Colorado at Boulder. What a great campus that is. And he won by 26 seconds, ran 15:01, ran easily. And then Morton wins with 30 points, 57-second split. When they run great races, they run in the 40s. When they run so-so, average races are in the 50s. So look for that. But they won easily. And the girls' side, same thing. Dunlop, nice little pack there. They won fairly easy, 30-54, I want to say, over Morton. Other race at Peoria. There were 2 other races. Big 12 conference. I wrote about that. Go read that. But the Patriots Invitational Saturday afternoon. So you have Elena Rybeck of Father McGivney, a freshman, and she's been coming on, winning races and everything else. She's going to be one of the runners to watch in girls 1A. Anna Perry won easily at the Heart of America meet at Eureka, so she's another one to watch. On the boys' side, well, Tolona Unity, St. Joe Ogden, and Monticello 1, 2, 3 in the girls' team race there. And Monticello still doesn't have Estella Miller. I'm wondering if they're resting her for the regionals or sectionals. They can get out of the regionals without Miller in there. Sectionals and state, their sectional is kind of tough, so, but they're a good team. On the boys' side, Ryder James, well, he ran 14:21 on the roads. I was like, okay, show me something. And he showed us something. He ran 14:46 on Saturday afternoon, wins by a half a minute over Tommy Murray of Riverdale. And so St. Joe Ogden didn't run Carson Maroon. Yeah, I think that's his name. The sophomore, they didn't run him in the race, and St. Joe Ogden still wins. Who's going to be number one in 1A right now? Is it DePaul Catholic? They ran pretty good at Chicago Catholic League. And or could it be Latin? Or could it be St. Joe Ogden? It's going to be so close in 1A when we get closer to the state meet. So what else? So Arthur Lovington was second, and Riverdale was third. And Riverdale's a good team. We talked about them at the beginning of the year. They're starting to come on strong, ready to peak at the right time. What else? I'm trying to think. There were so many things that went on. We had Duquesne. The North Lake County Conference meet. Ali Nagovitich, she made a Winthrop? I think it was Winthrop. I think she made a verbal commitment to Winthrop. I hope I'm right. But congratulations, Ali, on that. And on her final race at her home course. She wins the race fairly easy. And Grace Lake Central still looks like one of the Armstrongs wasn't racing, but they scored 40 points to win only by 8 points over Lakes. The boys side, Grace Lake Central has everybody back in their lineup, and they look pretty good winning that meet over Lakes. Fox Valley Conference. Oh, yeah. Okay. Fox Valley Conference. On the boys' side, Hampshire, team that could make it downstate in 3A. They go to Lake Park, and they could get in that 6th or 7th spot. They win over Jacobs. Jacobs heads to Schaumburg, or Hoffman Estates Sectional. Yusuf Bag of Burlington Central, 25 seconds. So we're talking about all these 2A runners, and you got to watch out for Yusuf. He's going to be one of those guys to keep an eye on. On the girls' side, Prairie Ridge was, I saw in the results, finished 7th, and I haven't really dug into the results there yet. But they didn't have their entire top 7 running in that race. So I didn't see Sioux Cup. I didn't see a few of the other runners in there, but they finished 7th. So watch out for them next week. Still, was it Crystal Lake South? Who won? Crystal Lake South won. 3 runners in the first 15. Again, the 4th and 5th runners are closing the gap on the 3rd runner. They looked good. Central Suburban League. 2 freshmen from Glenbrook North. What is going on here? Pakarov and Pruin, or something like that. They went 1-2 in that race. Team-wise, on the boys' side, Falk blows the field away ahead of his teammate George Cahill by about 22 seconds. Nutrier wins easily. Deerfield is a team to keep an eye on. In 2A, they finished 2nd. They won the North Division. Nutrier won the South. And on the girls' side, Maine South is a team to keep an eye on. They just keep getting better and better. They won over Vernon Hills and Nutrier. Those 2 teams were only separated by a point. So get to see Maine South next week against York, and they've raced against her earlier in the year. Let's see how much they've improved. We go south back into the Hinsdale sectional, and I really want to talk about Sandburg. Sandburg looks good. I don't know where the gap, if there is still a gap there. I think so, but they ran a 36-second split on the first 4 runner. The 5th runner was about 27 seconds behind, so something to keep an eye on with them. But Sandburg freight trained the field at Southwestern Suburban with 18 points. Declan Tunney, 14:39. Great time by him. And then on the girls' side, it was Lincoln Way East. Lincoln Way East is coming on strong. They won their conference title. And Carolyn Schoen of Homewood Flossmoor. She's almost a minute win in 17:19. 17:19 was the theme of the day. Johnston ran 17:19 at NLCC, and then Schoen comes out and runs 17-19. What else? What else? We're at 25 minutes now. What else? Chicago Public League. No Evelyn Het in the race. Andrew Edelman texted me afterwards and said, we're just getting her ready for regionals and sectionals and getting her ready for state. And I can see that. She ran a tough race, a fast race at Twilight a few weeks ago. So not necessary to run super fast. We'll leave that to Elliot Tonthat, who ran 17:09 on Saturday to win the girls race. The Tonthats 1-3 in that race, and Northside Prep wins. Jones Prep wins the boys title over Peyton, Lane Tech and Peyton. Whitley, Hunter Whitley of Lane Tech, about 15:04. He's going to be a guy to keep an eye on in the top 25 at state. He's running good right now. Chicago Catholic League, Loyola. Two of their top 5 runners, Maeve Norman and Morgan Mackey, didn't run. And that's the second week in a row that Mackey hasn't run. And Loyola still won the field easily, 27-65, I want to say, over St. Ignatius. So let's see what happens next week. I don't know where Loyola is running, what regional they're at. Maybe Glenbrook South. I think they're at Glenbrook South. So it'll be interesting to see if they race. What else? On the boys' side, Spencer Warner and Aiden Simon go 1-2 in the CCL Boys Championship. They get second by, I think, 1 point behind 2A Power Fenwick. And Fenwick didn't have Graydon Rill run in the race. He's their number 1 runner. So put Rill in there. Rill didn't race at Sterling, and he didn't race last week. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that coming up to regional meet. Where are they at? Oh, they're at Canelan. Yeah, they may not need to be there. So everything else, I wrote about basically every conference meeting, except for the results that we didn't receive. We didn't receive South Central, and we received Black Diamond, but the results had the school name and what number runner it was, but no runners' names. So I can't really publish those. I'm not gonna pull a Noomstradamus and try to guess what all runners placed where and all of that. But it's going to be interesting. 2 top regionals next week. Lyons Township, that has so many great teams in there. The Downers Grove North, Lyons Township, Oak Park, Hinsdale Central. So it's loaded, and then you go to Oswego East, where you have all the Naperville schools, plus you have Oswego East, and there's going to be a good team that doesn't make it out of both of those regionals. So be happy what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for. Any case. So I think I got a lot of meets, talked about a lot of meets. If I missed any, I apologize. I did write about all of them. Check them out on ILXCTF.runnerspace.com. It's in there. I'll put the link up sometime tonight on the regular ILXCTF page. Fun weekend. Gets great after that. 3 weeks till state. Less than 3 weeks till state. How cool is that? And the temperature's dropping too. So no rain. I don't think we're supposed to get a lot of rain the next month. Watch, it'll pour on November 6th. I hope not. But what else? Hinsdale, I'm talking to Jim Westfall, the coach of Hinsdale, after the West Suburban Silver. They're not using the creek crossing in the sectional race. So he'll come out with that news, but I'm just giving you guys a heads up because everybody's going, it'd be so cool to run in the creek. I tell Sandberg a few years ago when Dylan Jacobs went through and he was injured, he couldn't race again his sophomore year. I know he would have run great there. So Leggy is the course. It's one of the best courses in the state, and it should be fun. So I'm going to cut it off here. Oh, honor of my daughter. She ran at Bartlett. That's why I'm wearing it. I'm not. It's like Newman's backing Bartlett now. What's going on? Daughter ran for Bartlett. I was going back looking at videos of her races. They're kind of funny. She ran so well. So any case, everybody have a great week. Tapering begins to get ready for regionals, sectionals, states. We'll talk a little bit about regionals next week, and we'll start to dip into sectionals a little bit more. So until the next time we talk next week, everybody have a great week. It's Mike Newman from DICENET.com and ILXCTF.com. Have a great week. Talk to you next week. See you at a course soon.